All right, how am I ever going to make it in the music industry if I don't network with other artists and producers? I am going to have to take the necessary steps to help determine what my future looks like. If I want to make it out there, I'm going to have to come up with a plan of action and execute on that plan one step at a time. Great music takes dedication by multiple talented people networking with each other to create this sort of musical magic. And honestly, it's about time to figure out what my next move is. And trust me, I understand firsthand that networking with other artists and producers is a great way to get your music out there to a much larger audience. I mean, think about it. If all my fans listen to their music featured on my album and vice versa, we're only exposing ourselves to that many more people out there. Producers tend to get lost in the realm of doing you, meaning yourself, but once you have developed your craft and really have something to offer, you might want to think about expanding your work to the rest of the world. There are people out there stuck in the home studio doing the same exact thing as me. Trust me, I was stuck in this realm doing me after my first year of Full Sail, and I had developed my skills. I kept everything to myself, and the bottom line was I was going nowhere very slowly and networking with nobody outside of who I already know. And this is not the successful road for success. Networking your ability can gain exposure, money to a much broader audience. Try networking your music for the next 30 days and watch what happens. I'm not talking about throwing your music on Facebook, asking your friends to like it. I mean, get out there, pass out your cards, go to events. These are very important. And I'd like to talk about the importance of networking in the industry, how to successfully network in the industry, and what are the consequences if I do not network in the industry. Because these are important factors in producers networking with other producers and artists is how every hit song was developed. Multiple talented people created every major hit out there on every album made. From mixing, mastering, producing, piggybacking off each other's skills. According to DJ Toomp, he talks about networking and shopping his beats to artists, and he came out of pocket to fly to New York to meet with Jay-Z, and he landed a deal. He came out of pocket for his hotel and his flight, but this is the type of dedication that producers of his level need to meet. He also started out networking his musical talent as a DJ in Atlanta, Georgia. And after making a name for himself, he gained the exposure and was able to shop his music to well-known artists in his city and artists that were touring into his city. I mean, shopping your music in person is the best way to network your music. There was a local beat battle. I went down there with my best beats on disc. I battled my way, winning 4 rounds. This was the first time I exposed my work to Denver, and I left the building with more business cards and phone numbers than I had my phone to begin with. If you network your music in person, hand them the material. Don't just let them know who you are. If you don't want to spend too much time bragging about yourself or what you have to offer at this level. Keep it short, keep it simple, and right and direct to the point. While I was at the beat battle, all communication was very subtle. On my way out, business cards here, CDs there. A couple people stopped me, but only for a few words and a phone number. Nothing longer than a minute, but adding a face to that phone number always makes things more personal and easier to remember. If I stay in the home studio and produce nothing but the home team, my chances for success in this industry will most likely fail. And to be honest with you, I am not in a position to accept those kind of terms. Now, if factual evidence will show producers succeeding by networking with other producers and artists on every hit song produced, you might need to look a little bit behind the scenes to really understand what I'm talking about, but do a little digging, do a little research, and you'll see multiple producers collaborating. In a recent video with DJ Hood Docs, Looney Tunes, and DJ Toomp, you will clearly see 3 major producers collaborating on music together to make this musical magic that we were earlier talking about. This is important. Now, if you're anything like me, do yourself a favor. Come up with a plan of action, a list of things to do to help network your music to a broader audience. Make this plan of action reasonable and accomplish one goal at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself. Network with other artists and producers can have a huge impact on my future. If I start now, the rewards will only come that much quicker. And being 39 years old, I honestly have to try to get things moving as fast as possible. This is a process that will only benefit my future with exposure, money, and the necessary means to get me moving in the right direction. I tried to run a home studio as a full-time job and ended up needing to get a full-time job. I mean, in this industry, I'm going to have to think like a business owner and how to create attention and start networking with other producers and artists out there to gain the exposure that I'm going to need to help succeed my future. Thank you very much.